client would want to know, apart from where the kitchen is going to come and where the living room is going to come, that comes in a plan, is how is the building going to look like? So how is the elevation? So elevation ainda another main question. I mean, we all get to hear as architects. And to do that, be it a plan or elevation, architects always use multiple methods to develop and to come up with something interesting. As a kid, I was also pretty excited whenever I saw a Charminar or a Taj Mahal or some of the wonderful buildings that I see across the world today. I wonder, how did the architects do that? And we all have that question. Sometimes we make models. And many times we do sketches. We keep doing sketches over what we have done earlier, revising them and developing them. And for that, we'll need something called as a tracing paper. We all would have seen as kids the tracing paper to do the sketches. It's similar to that. And as architects, earlier we used to call this, as butter paper. So butter paper has this quality to show everything that's underneath it. And back then, during college, I will want to reveal that we used to do glass tracing. That is, you used to put glass underneath that. We used to put our plan and then put a light underneath that, and that light would, give us all the lines that we've drawn earlier. So if you notice how it works, I mean, now we don't have glass, but I can show you this tracing paper. If you just put and you can just trace whatever is there on it. So you very much have something traced that is already there on that, and then start developing on it. Like if you want to have windows or you want to have some kind of a partition, and how do you balance this entire elevation, all that can be done. So this is how architects in many ways work on their plans, elevations, and come up with those beautiful structures that you get to see. It's a tedious process, but that's our work. We keep doing that. And I would like to take you through one of the elevations that I'm doing right now. I mean, one important thing that I would like to mention here, చాలా మంది ఏమనుకుంటారంటే ఎలివేషన్స్ సర్ఫేస్ పైన ఉంటాయి. అంటే మనం బయట నుంచి సర్ఫేస్ మీద చూస్తామో అది 2D టైప్లో కనబడుతుంటుంది. కానీ the most important thing for any elevation, that it lies under the skin. That's the plan. So unless the plan is exciting, plan is interesting, the elevation cannot be exciting. So like in this, if I don't know if there is a balcony here, I won't get this void. A void ఎలా తీసుకురావాలి అనేది ప్లాన్లో ఫస్ట్ మనం డిసైడ్ అవ్వాలి, అండ్ దట్స్ హౌ ఎలివేషన్ బికమ్స్ ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్. సో వర్క్ ఆన్ యువర్ ప్లాన్స్ మోర్, అండ్ through the plans try to visualize how your elevation would come, and eventually once you get the elevation, you'll have to definitely work around what is balancing, what is not balancing, what is symmetry, what is not, and what is the entire character of the building, and how do you want it to look like. So let me take you through a process that I'm right now working on one building. So and it is in the process of the elevation right now. So I thought I'll take you through that sketch so that you can understand more about this. I have is a digital Wacom board. You can paint and draw on this. So I've opened a regular Photoshop. So let's start with starting with a new file. I would prefer to take a 14 by 11 kind of an A3 kind of a size so that it looks good. We'll name the file name so that let's name the file name as test house elevation. So you save that. I usually want to take a 100 resolution. So now we have a file. What I will do now, what you have to import onto this is like any drawing sheet. Now what you have done, if you all are aware of how Photoshop works,
you can apply different layers. So what we are going to do is treat it as a normal paper. On these, the layers that we're going to add are either like the butter sheet that I was talking of. So the butter sheets will be layers. So what we do now is first import a plan on. So this is a plan of what we have there. So let me just add it here for my reference. So this will be in one layer. I don't want to touch this because this is a reference layer. Now for your reference, I'll just let you know that this is a ground floor and first floor. Both I have overlapped into one. So that's, for your rough understanding, this could be a living room, this could be a bedroom, and this could be a toilet. So anything, whatever your plan would have, that I think you can always import onto. You should take reference photos of the local things that might be there, like the local the surrounding buildings or the trees, so that you get an easy reference of the height and scale and how your building will look in that surroundings. So here we have a photo of a particular building that we're working on, and the slab and the pillars are done, as you can see. And so now what we'll do is we'll start working on layers. So first thing is that this layer needs to be, so you can reduce the opacity. So now it's almost like how you usually work for on tracing papers. So this is how we generally work on tracing papers, right? We put it underneath that, and this is how it would look, and we'll start tracing on top of it. We also got a plan to take a reference of what is coming where. So this part would become a balcony, this part would could become a balcony. Draw the outline of the building that you want to see as, and then we'll start eliminating and adding elements as we move forward. Okay, so now if you notice, there is an outline of the building shape, tentatively that how it might look. So this is going to be our base layer. We are not going to do anything to it. On top of this, we're going to work. So first let's remove the photographs so that we can have a clear picture of what it is seen as. Let's make, okay. So now we have a plan and the building shape in place. What we'll now work on is how to now create a more dynamic elevation, something which is what we want the building to look like. So as I'm experimenting and trying to explain you, probably let's try something more wacky and interesting, something not how usually we do an elevations, right? So let's do something exciting here. So what I've done here is, interestingly, I've increased because there is a parapet that will come, right, for the terrace. So I've increased that and kind of reduced this part and made this same, so that this I will enhance the perspective nature, the way the viewpoints are, are coming to one, ending to terminating at one point. I'm using that to enhance the character of the building, and I did that and tried to make it more bold. So now if you look at the plan, let us see this. So there is a balcony here, there's a balcony here that can come, right? So I can have a quite an interesting pointed balconies. So let me just create space for that. So if you notice, the moment you remove the balcony, create a space for the balcony, you can see something that's beyond. So that this line of the roof is visible. So that you need to draw now, because from the balcony that will be visible. So that's interesting for a building, right? So the way it looks. So let me create that line. So what you have will be something like that, and yeah, it will go all the way. It depends again. So yeah, we have something like this, and we'll have a door which is now not visible because we've taken only till this end. So this is a roof actually, and this is going to be a roof. So the two surfaces of a roof that we are highlighting when a person stands in front of the building, that we can now interestingly create. When it's quite exciting the way it's coming. So let's create another balcony this side. So if you can see, we have very successfully created two balconies, and we have created two elements that are protruding out, and we can see the ceilings of both the balconies. And now let's remove this and see how the building looks. So it's looking quite unusual and exciting, I think. So I wanted to create something like this so that you'll understand how elevations can transform, and architects use different tools to create quite interesting perspectives and elevations, and what you see as the drama that happens in the buildings, be it whether you go to New York or whether you go to any Europe or operas, and or Guggenheim's. This is how it all boils down to. Again, from this, how to create this, what are the spaces, what happens at the various spaces, is something that an architect reviews and tries to work on with different layers. This is not something final that we will come up with, but over the period of time, we'll try to see where and what's happening here. So this is a solid surface and this is a void. This could be the entrance, I mean, according to the plan. So if this is a balcony, this is an entrance, there's another surface that's coming here. Okay, so roughly we have something here, and now the point is let's see how this building looks in the environment that we have created, that way that. Here we have a rough estimate of how the building will look in the environment that exists there, and you can create this for your interior or for your interior walls that you are thinking how to work on them, or any of your projects that you're doing, and a home that you're building, that how it might look, and create some very interesting elevations. So but the first and foremost, the golden thumb rule is to work on your plans. That is the main agenda. So work on your plans, make them beautiful, make all the courtyards and the greenery where you want to see and all that, and from there the elevation comes. So you have to constantly keep moving from the plan to elevation, elevation to plan, and see how the entire thing works. That's how architects create those wonderful buildings. And if you liked it, please like, share with your friends, and of course subscribe so that I can come up with more videos, and click the bell icon so you get updated whenever I post my next one. So until next time, have a great day. and have a great weekend. Bye.